Okay. Well, not very long. And I just stole the frame back, so you're welcome, Marston. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome to the new and improved podcast. Through the highs and the lows for 4 years running, the podcasts have been here for you, bringing the victories and the defeats, the joys and the sorrows, and we are just getting started. I'm your show producer, Bella, the coordinator of the chaos. And if you want to talk to Scott, you got to get through me first. So be nice. Here at the podcast, we do it a bit different. We're all about the investment element of crypto, no hype, but rational and objective context of what we are buying and what we are selling. And we strive to be entertaining and informative while we do it. So strap in, fill your glass, and without any further ado, I give you the podcaster himself, the one and only Great Scott. Dazzle me, boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome to the podcast. Thank you. Do gotta have a show note, man. You know, we love show notes. We will be giving away hopefully 12,500 Jackal tonight, but I need 100 viewers, man. Look, that's it. We've done this several times. We did this at 8 cents. We did it at 16. We did it at 32. We are doing it at 64, and we're gonna do it again at $1.28 when it hits that, which it's gonna. I'll show you why. I'm gonna show you why today. It's a perfect illustration of why you get into good projects early, because every one of those giveaways that we've done up till now is currently worth a little bit under $9,000. So round of applause for all of our previous winners. But I'm putting the caveat on it this one, man. Look, we work hard on this, dude. I like to have viewers. We got Marston here tonight with us, smartest guy in blockchain. I mean, hands down. This I'll tell you what, this is one of the people that you just really, really want to listen to, because if he's saying it, it's not conjecture. But for the tokens that we are giving away shortly, hopefully, I paid $287 for them. They are worth a great deal more now, clearly. But if you shop smart, you shop smart, good things can happen. Now, why did I buy? That's the question I get so much. Why did I buy? And honestly, that's easy. It's just simply a great project. It is a great project at a great time, and we haven't even started seeing them get their legs yet. V4, all right, it's coming. Everything changes. Marston is going to tell you all about it. Machine guns versus bows and arrows, to quote the Jackal CEO. Web3, up until now, has settled. It is settled for the illusion of privacy. It is settled for substandard products just because they're Web3. Jackal didn't. They haven't. That's why I invested. But it's not one thing that got me into DPIN. All right? It's not any one single thing. It is the necessity of DPIN. I like to invest in businesses. Income versus expenditures, measurable standards. These are very, very basic elements that seem to get lost in crypto as if the fundamentals don't matter. The fundamentals are all that matter. And as time passes, more and more of these projects get exposed. Infrastructure is necessary. I want to be in things that are necessary. It removes the mystery. Crypto It's chess. All right, guys. It's not checkers. I know we like to break things down to their simplest form. That's just human nature. Token go up, therefore I like token. And that might be fine for short positions, but it will get you smoked over time. It's the Nash equilibrium. And very few people are willing or able to change their strategies as market forces change. You turn into food and you turn into exit liquidity with nothing but a story on the back end of how you were up big and you're now broke. It's a very common tale, but it's chess because the moves you make now will radically affect the moves you're able to make 6 months from now. Opportunity costs, they are a bitch. But that is what you are positioning yourself for now, 6 months from now. And if you invest stupidly now, you won't have any capital left 6 months from now. So you have got to look past the hype and look into the fundamentals. Data storage is a $320 billion annual industry, and it's only growing. I have been working in this industry for 25 years. Data centers across the country: Des Moines, Omaha, San Antonio, Atlanta, Phoenix, Virginia, North and South Carolina, New York. These places are booked out 20 years trying to get them built. They are working these electricians flat because they are printing gold. 20 years. I want you to think about that. Billions and billions of dollars. I have never seen a frenzy like this. And you want to pass to buy meme tokens and NFTs? You go for it. You go ahead and do your thing, babe. I'll see you in 6 months. Look ahead. That's all I'm saying. Stick to the fundamentals, and you're going to see it for yourself. Jackal is going to change the whole game. They already have, but people are just now starting to notice. But where do you think they're going to be with 6 more months of development time under them? They already brought you Radiant. They already brought bringing apps to market right now, things that the world has never seen, ever. And they are just starting. So anyway, guys, that's the whole monologue tonight. I'm keeping it very, very short because I know you want my money. And if we hit the 100 viewers, producer lady is going to whisper it in my ear, and we're going to give away a whole bunch of tokens. If we don't get the viewers, all right, we're going to keep it banked, and we're just going to keep trying. I consider that money spent. So it doesn't matter when I give it away. I don't care. It's not mine anymore. It belongs to you. It belongs to the podcast community because you guys mean more to me than anything. I'm not here to farm you, all right? You're here to farm me, and I want to make sure that I am farmable. So it's things like this that are really going to make that happen. So anyway, we do have the Marston with us. He's going to tell you all about the next 6 months because these really, really matter. Marston, are you ready, sir?
Oh, I am.
All right, man. Hey, tell me. I'll tell you what. Let's be nice first. Marston, how are you doing this evening? Are you having a good day?
Yeah, I'm having a pretty good day.
Yeah. What'd you do today? What'd you get done? What'd you build?
Oh man, nothing too crazy. Just a lot of little fixes and tweaks, and working away at V4 because there's a lot coming.
You know what? Funny that you should mention V4, dude. Patrick, CEO of Jackal, I saw a Twitter that he put out. He said it's machine guns versus bows and arrows. That was his tweet. Could you maybe elaborate on that a little bit and how that's going to be applicable when V4 rolls out here?
Yeah, I mean, the best way to look at it is cloud storage in Web3 right now is slow. It just kind of has to be. The way that blockchains have been built for so long are really focused on what the blockchain's doing, not so much how it's doing it. And so when you have these like legacy cloud storage platforms, a lot of them make really no assumptions on how their products are being used. and they're built on really old because crypto's so new, but old tech. And I mean, like we're talking like Bitcoin old, like the same principles there are being applied, proof of work being just terribly slow, and they're not modular at all. We're not used to seeing like the Cosmos SDK be used to kind of its full potential. What we're kind of dealing with in the cloud storage space of Web3 is these products that got launched and they are stiff and nothing can happen from this point forward. Everything that's on there is going to be on there the same way it's going to be on there in 20 years, assuming that they're still around. Jackal is obviously built on the SDK, and so we can just push upgrades as long as it goes through governance really quickly. We can scale out the chain. We can really, really put a lot of effort into fine tuning everything as the product is growing, rather than just launching it and on hopes and prayers. So with V4, instead of just dealing with files the way that traditional platforms deal with files, where you kind of have every day or so the file gets verified, we're talking about files having adjustable verification windows. So if you want to pay extra money, you can make that file be more secure. If you want to pay less money and you don't care about that file, you just want it up there, that file can be checked over less often, but be a lot more readily accessible and cheaper for you, because the storage providers don't need to continuously look over it. They can just serve it exactly as you want it to be served. The chain gets huge speed boosts because of V4. And like, it's kind of V4, kind of not V4. We're trying to split V4 into a couple little pieces, but I'm still going to call it V4. What we're doing right now is verifying storage deals within kind of a fixed window. And these storage deals are, being proven one after the other. And then when the chain is done with all that and it's proven everything that it needs to prove, it's got a lot of downtime. It's not really doing a lot because, everything's been proven that needs to be proven. What that does, though, is it really creates this kind of slope pattern in all the blocks, where some blocks are really full, some blocks aren't. Those blocks that get really full, the validators have a harder time checking over those blocks and making sure they're legit, so they go slower. What we're able to do in V4 is kind of stagger everything so that we kind of lower how much space is in those big blocks and increase a little bit of space in those smaller blocks, which means that every block is smaller in general, which is really, really great because it means we can process each block faster and we don't get hang-ups in the traditional sense. So that's kind of a big thing with V4. On top of that, there's a lot of really minor changes that you as a user are never going to know about, because it's all in the way that the data is being represented on chain. So right now you kind of have, for every file you upload, due to our redundancy, you have 3 copies, which is really great. 3 copies of your file is excellent. It makes sure that everything's there always. The only thing is, on chain, if we can represent that as less and the chain will still understand that there's supposed to be 3, we can do file lookups way quicker. So you can find files on the chain a lot faster than you would in the current model, which is really exciting for us, because it doesn't sound crazy, like, oh, I can find my file quarter of a second faster than I would normally be able to. That's nothing. But when you're using your Jackal cloud in an enterprise solution where you're looking up files 100 files a second, that adds up a lot, and the chain is going to be able to handle so much more throughput. It's unbelievable.
So, are you going to crack that 12-second minimum upload time? Is V4 going to address that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff happening with the user experience of V4. That's kind of the second half of V4. As I said, the first half is kind of that scaling section, but the user experience is going to change a lot for the better. So traditionally, what you're met with right now is you kind of upload your file to a storage provider. You pick which storage provider you want it to go to. That's all great, and then that file has to sit there and go through the motions of uploading to that provider, and then the provider has to scan that whole file, create this storage deal out of it, and then post that to the blockchain, it has to wait for that to go on chain and be verified by the blockchain. Then it sends you some of that information back so that you know where to look on chain to sign off on that deal being valid. It's a really secure way to do it. It makes a lot of the user experience kind of simple, because you just have to upload the file and then the provider handles a lot of that math for you. But we are building a front end as well. It's not just, we're not just expecting users to do everything. So with our Jackal libraries that are going to be built out into the front end, into Golang applications, all that good stuff, those clients are going to end up doing a lot more work for us. And that work is going to go to both improve the usability of the protocol, but also a lot of the perceived speed of the protocol. And so kind of what I mean by that is when you upload a file, your browser or your Golang client or whatever you're using to interact with the Jackal protocol is going to process that file a little bit ahead of time. So it's going to be able to get a lot of that information that the storage providers used to figure out. With that, you're going to actually go and you're going to upload a little bit of information to the chain about that file and say, this is the file that I want to pay for, which is really great because you're making that transaction first. So you don't have to wait for the storage providers to do anything. From there, you're just good to go. Then your client, after going to the chain and posting that, it's going to be able to ship that file out to a storage provider of your choice. We're going to give you some recommendations in case you want the chain to choose for you, but you can still kind of pick that provider that you want. However, from there, that provider doesn't need to wait for you to kind of go through the chain verification process. It's just going to take that information in, it's going to verify it against the chain, it's going to wait those 6 seconds to make sure that the transaction that you submitted to the block is verified. But it's not going to feel like the file is taking forever, and you don't have to sign anything past that point. You're going to sign your transaction, you're going to ship that file off, and then you're done. You can walk away, and that file is going to be there. It's going to take as long as a traditional file upload to something like Google Drive is going to take. You don't need to wait for those block times anymore, because once that file leaves your computer, it's going to be accessible on those storage providers the second it's done processing it, which is really, really exciting for us because it means we're not waiting for the chain. We kind of optimistically assume that certain things are true and then do check-ins kind of after the fact to make sure that everything's good to go. And from there, the storage provider is going to, if you actually didn't pay for it and somehow trick the storage provider through, forking the chain or whatever, that's a whole bunch of Tendermint stuff. But that type of stuff will be caught probably within a few seconds at most, which is really, really exciting for the Jackal protocol, like consensus-wise. And user experience is huge, but it's going to put a lot of ease on the storage providers as well, because they're just doing so much less, which is exciting.
Yeah, and you had mentioned that before when V4 was still just a nugget, that it was going to be the storage providers were going to police themselves. Is that what you just explained? How we're going to we're going to be able to police ourselves?
Yeah, so the users are going to have a lot more control over what's happening. So the storage providers, kind of through those consensus spheres, are still going to, quote unquote, police themselves. They're going to be able to see if people are lying about their storage deals in the same way that those consensus spheres were doing it before. But again, this time just a little more efficiently, which is very exciting for us. And then on top of that, the user makes a lot more details posted to chain. So you're going to be doing a lot of like cryptographic verification in your client. So your storage provider, before, you got all the information from the storage provider and then your client kind of verified that. Now it's kind of backwards, where you're verifying everything that you want first. So you say, these are my conditions, and the chain gets those conditions. And if a storage provider meets those conditions, things are good to go. Before, the storage provider would go and say, this is what I have. Are you okay with that? And then you would sign off. So it lets some things slip through the cracks. We haven't experienced any issues yet. And there shouldn't be any issues because of the way we do our verification in the client. But in theory, the new V4 is a lot more secure because the user is the one making those conditions rather than the storage providers asking if the user's okay with things, which we think is way better.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, dude. I really do. I'm not gonna pretend I understand what most of what you're talking about in there, man. Look, I what I do is find value in products and I entertain into them. I'm not allowed to use the I word anymore. The lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I entertain into them because I see value. Maybe not right now, but I see value 3 months, 6 months, 9 months down the line. I saw value in Jackal the moment you talked to me about it, the very first time. I remember our very first interview. That's before anything happened. It was just an idea,
Hmm.
and I was already on board. And I'm going to show everybody why. I'm going to a third screen, Marston. If you're watching the stream, you'll be able to see it. But I'm going to a third screen. So what I'm showing you right here is the Jackal protocol, guys. All right, this is the Jackal dashboard. What this is a video that I uploaded over a year ago, and I just decided to pull it up, and I'm playing it right here in on the Jackal dashboard. This isn't on my computer. Marston, is this video that I'm about to hit play, does it exist on my computer, or does it simply exist in the Jackal protocol right now?
Yeah, so it only exists on the Jackal protocol until you click play, and then it's being sent to your computer from the Jackal protocol. But that is it. Only
Yes.
when you actually ask for it.
Yeah, so right now that's the video itself right there. It took about 15, it's about 300 megabytes. It took about 15 seconds to fully recall it. Once you get data onto Jackal, that network is not only fast, it is scary fast. It is stupid fast. It is what the hell is really going on here fast as far as recalling the data. And you can play right there from... Ladies. I'll mute it. You guys don't need to hear the audio. Here's how old this video is. You guys are... You guys ready? Juno was $2.55. Crescent was still 12 cents. Bicana was 2 cents, and Evmos was $1.47. So that's how old this video is. And this video was uploaded to Jackal at least that long ago. That's why I use that very marker right there so I can effectively time and date stamp things. Look up when Crescent was 12 cents, and that's when this video went up. And I'm playing it right now from the Jackal dashboard. Now, here is here's where I'm going with this. And I'm catching some of the chats over here. I know it's not my thing. Guys, I get it. Everybody's excited. You all want my money. I get it. All right, I'll tell you what. We're giving it away. If you say it was a 104, it's fine. I'm making the call. We're going to be giving it away. You got to be present to win, and you got to call in. There it is. All right, so round of applause. I don't care. I'm going to give it away because it's really not about my money. It's about getting all this It's about getting this information out. Now, here's why I'm showing you Jackal dashboard right now, because I'm going to show you another one right now. Now, what is on the screen right now is a Cardano data storage service called Iagon. This is their dashboard. You have to use the Eternal wallet, which is just, I'm sorry, it's a pain in the ass. It's a bad wallet. There's a reason I'm not in ADA. I get it. I know people are excited. It's not really my thing. But this is their data storage offering. Now, this is currently sitting at about $150 to $170 million market cap. This is it. Now, I went over this. We're not here to snipe at Iagon because I actually went over this live with Marston. Do you remember us talking about this, Marston? Do you remember going over it live? We were doing it on Discord, and I think it was, this is the illusion of decentralization. And it took 5 seconds to actually figure out what was happening on this. This is not decentralized, all right? This is a centralized service that is pretending to be decentralized. But this is a $150 million market cap. Now, here is the Marston file, if I could open up. And these are the some of the thumbnails that we actually uploaded into it. And if I click the file, it will do this. It'll tell me that something's here. But if I click any of the video, it's tough, man. This is tough to manipulate this thing. I think I got some videos out here somewhere. The problem that I had with it first is the add files button. So if I want to put anything up here, let's say I wanted to put the same video that Sif Chain still screwed. That's the information that I get when I try to upload anything over, I think, 150 megabytes. It's too big. It cannot handle anything over 150 megabytes. Marston, how big of a file can Jackal handle?
32 gigs currently, and that is just kind of like a software cap. Theoretically, you could increase it, but what we do currently is just split a file into multiple 32 gig chunks. just to make it easier on the providers.
So I could literally put up a terabyte file. You're going to shred it into 32 gigabyte chunks. It'll take forever, but you can handle it.
Yep.
That's no.
Yeah.
I'm not saying quality of life here, dude. We both know this is going to
Yeah.
take a while. That's a big file.
Oh yeah.
But
It would be awful, but it is doable.
okay, and your $150 million market cap competitor over here can't do more than 150 megabytes. That's it. Now, I think I put, I'm looking for some kind of video that I maybe put. Okay, 45 megabytes. That's got to be a video of some kind. So if I want to do on this what I just did on Jackal, meaning recall the entire file, 15 seconds, and play it from right there, you guys just saw it for yourselves. This is what I can get on Iagon. It tells me it's a file. It damn sure does, but there's really nothing that I can do with it. I could download it, but this is, for all intents and purposes, it's just dead storage. All right, there is nothing you can do on that. I don't think I'm underselling this enough, or overselling this. What you can do on Jackal is shocking compared to what you can do on everything else. Right now, a lot of the narrative, man, is coming up. Everyone's saying Filecoin. Look at Filecoin. Filecoin is fantastic at what they do. Filecoin is great for Arctic storage. And if you don't mind waiting 18 hours to recall a video that I can recall on Jackal in 15 seconds, then it's great. Use it. Knock yourself out. It's a brand name and everybody knows about Filecoin. But Jackal is doing in 15 seconds what it takes Filecoin 18 hours to do. So to me, there is simply no comparison between these two protocols, with the exception of they both store data. But one of them is hot storage and one of them is not. And that's really where it comes down to for me. That's the alpha and the omega. All right, which one of these do what I need it to do? I upload a lot of files. I actively manipulate the files. Everything I record goes to Jackal. Goes to Jackal first. I want to make sure it's safe, 3 times redundancy, and it takes care of it for me. After that, I put the videos wherever the hell I want to put them, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, or anything, but they all end up on Jackal. I don't have 18 hours to wait for the file to come back, all right? I am an active user. Ingress and egress absolutely matters to me. So what I'm getting on Jackal compared to what I'm getting on anything else is they're not even the same sports. So again, why do I invest in Jackal? Because for God's sakes, look what it can do. Anyway, guys, we're gonna get back, but we like to take questions and comments. And something tells me, aside from everybody saying we got 100 viewers, give away your money, I'll give away the money, guys. Don't worry about that. But we actually do have Marston here, and his time is valuable. So, Belle, do we have any questions, comments, concerns, or observations?
Oh, yeah, we do. Makokata Streamwalker coming in with the first one for Marston. When will they release an Explorer with CSV download? Hate to be Debbie Downer, but it is tax season and I have Jackal gains to declare.
Yeah. That's
Ouch.
that's a good question.
It is.
We currently don't have anything in the pipeline. We're trying to deal with MintScan, but it's kind of out of my wheelhouse a little bit. Go pester Patrick with that one. It's very up in the air because block explorers are one of those weird things that for some reason they exist, but none of them are really that easy to get going with. So it's a really strange space. But as I say, go pester Patrick with that one. He'd be so good to answer that question for you.
All right, next question coming in from Mike 374. Is Jackal working on other exchange listings?
Man, these are all Patrick questions for sure. I can't really speak to that one right now, unfortunately. So as I say, go DM Patrick on Telegram or something and ask him. He's kind of in charge of all that kind of BD stuff.
You guys don't need a central exchange listing. You absolutely do not need a central exchange listing, right? You know what you need? Users. That's what you need. You need people using the protocol. Everything else is really, really going to be secondary on this one, man. Look, guys, if you want this to be a crypto that it goes up, people buy it, you get real excited, and oh my goodness, it's great, and we peak, and then everybody dumps because something new comes along. There's 25,000 different tokens out there that you can do that with. This is a use case deep in protocol, all right? It's not that kind of action. This is you could do better with something else. That is not going to be this. This thing is going to be the one that gives you the nice, steady organic growth as they continue to develop, push out, and all that other good stuff. I'm patient. I got no problem waiting for it. But if you need the listings and all that, Kajira, Shade, I guess they're starting to get hot on that shit right now. Anyway, carry on, Bell.
All right, next question coming in from Stumpy. And this one actually, Marston and I can kind of tag team. Hi, guys. Are any of you still in the pools on Osmosis or just using it to buy and sell, as I don't like their 14-day lock-in period?
Oh my God! You know what, Marston? You're not. You know what? I'm taking this one, dude. Yeah, let me find it.
I appreciate it.
You know what? Marston can talk on this too. There's a better place with no lock-in for Jackal. Come on.
Look, man. If you're looking to pair Jackal, Astrovault. I'm sorry. Look, Astrovault.io. If you're not familiar with Astrovault, Astrovault.io. Knock yourself out. There are several really, really good pools over here for Jackal. Jackal and Astrovault made a very early partnership. It benefited them both wonderfully. Now, I consider the pick of the litter, this pool right there. This is my personal opinion. It's not financial advice. I'm just a goofy entertainer, man. What do I know? But that's my that would be my pick of the litter right there, is USDC Noble paired with X Jackal at 59.5%, paid out in AXV. Now, the reason that gets really, really interesting, because I don't like DEX tokens. You guys, you know me. If you watch the show, you know I'm not crazy about DEX tokens. But I've never seen a team that paid this much attention to their token. I mean, this is Eric. This is all he does. It wakes up, checks the token. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? What do I got to do? And they've managed to turn that thing from where it started. Where is it? It's down on statistics here somewhere. But where that token launched to where it's sitting at right now. I'm looking for the current price. Hang on, guys. Right there. 18, just shy of 18.5 cents. If I remember right, early round one outbid participants, I think they got this at 8 cents. Wasn't it 8 cents, 9 cents, 10 cents, 11 cents as it goes up? But every single outbid participant is up, not only up, but up substantially, because again, these guys pay real close attention to their token, and that's why it's my DEX of choice. That's where my Jackal is sitting. Yeah, I mean, clearly you guys just saw my one of my wallets. This is where my Jackal is sitting. There's tons of good places to put this. That's my personal favorite. But they have a Jackal and an X-Jackal pool. You're not going to make a lot of money, but you're not going to get any IL on it either. And you're going to be paid out in AXV. So it's good to diversify. It matters, man. All right, it matters. You're going to want to be in the pools that are not paying out in Jackal. Jackal, to my knowledge, now this would be a Patrick question, doesn't incentivize any of their pools at this time. I don't know if they're still incentivizing Osmo, but you really don't want to be in the pools. If you're long on this token, you really don't want to be in the pools that are paying you out in Jackal. You're going to want to be in the pools that are paying you out in anything else, because you don't want to farm a chain that you're long in. This is crypto zero, not even 101. This is crypto zero. You don't farm a chain that you're long in. All you're doing is creating sell pressure on that chain. It makes no sense to me. Anyway, hope that answered the question. Sorry, Marston, I didn't mean to rate on your grade or anything like that.
You took that way better than I would.
But it's kind of my thing. Carry on, Bill.
Oh, and we actually, for the record, guys, we just hit 101 unique viewers. So
Yay!
Yeah, now we can do the giveaway. All right, so Makoka Streamwalker, Marston, how are you going to get enough capacity without raises, prices, rewards a lot?
Yeah, so we were actually kind of just looking at this recently. As far as the storage providers have put up, we on chain right now we have 950 terabytes available, which is really crazy.
Wait a minute. I got to interrupt you here, dude. Why is it only? I have one little cluster up there that has almost how much is on the Shimpa servers, Bell? How much did we actually put up over there? It's almost a petabyte, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look into that. I'm sorry, dude.
I'm purely speaking so storage providers can self-report that they have less than they're technically available. So if it's not all being used, you don't need to self-report that you have more storage space available. This is only storage providers that are currently proving stuff about how much they've self-reported to them.
Oh, okay.
So I can't be totally Yeah, I can't be totally accurate on that number, just because it's technically it's empty space, and we can't prove empty space without filling it, which
Gotcha.
we don't want to do for the sake of it. Um, so as far as like storage capacity goes, I mean that's just in the stuff that's like doing something right now, which is really crazy to think about that. Like there's a full petabyte just kind of sitting there, ready to go. Right now. Not even like you have to spin it up or it needs to be modified. It's just on there, which is really great. As far as like getting that storage space filled, which is obviously more important than having the space in the first place, because you need someone to pay for that storage space. We're really focusing a lot on currently just kind of bringing those like user facing systems out to the public. I mean, like already we were kind of looking at our metrics this past week, and since the launch of Radiant and Beacon, which are those two apps that we kind of just launched, we already got, I think it was 300 individual unique users that didn't already have storage payment plans, just posting files to Jackal, which is really crazy. We just watched the wallet count basically skyrocket after that, which is really, really exciting. So it's those kind of things that we're really pushing for right now to get that kind of mainstream user adoption started. And then we're also focusing a lot on kind of that B2B side where we're not going to see a lot of user accounts coming from that section because a lot of it is kind of containerized into one wallet that manages a bunch of people's data. But those things we're working on, like storage backup systems. We're deploying those already to businesses, and then focusing a lot on kind of like that AWS style bucket storage for developers that are looking to kind of onboard their own applications to the protocol and making those docs and like onboarding utilities really, really good for them. And a lot of that does come with V4 as well. I have to keep talking about V4, but that user experience for a developer coming on board who may have a ton of data to go live on chain, trying to make it as easy as possible for them to just be able to read it and go, this seems like something that is easy enough for me to set up, and they'll drop it in place of something like AWS or Google Cloud.
Okay. Well, and we're going to get back to your questions. I would love it right now if anybody who doesn't use Jackal Storage would like to follow along, and I will show you how to use Jackal Storage. It's incredibly difficult to hook up. All right. You need really custom wallets, and it's incredibly difficult. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to app.jackalprotocol.com. I think that's funny. You're going to come over here and hit the little button that says Connect Wallet, and you're going to connect either Kepler or Leap, whichever one you happen to want. I will choose Kepler. It's going to come up. It's going to pop that up. It's going to approve the initiate Jackal session, and now you're up. So now this is the tricky part. You got to pay them. So how are we going to do that? So if you come right here to the home screen and if you come right over here to billing, that little big box that says billing, and you select the basic package. That is 2 gigabytes of Jackal storage, and it's going to cost you 2 cents per month to actually maintain that. I can't because I use the 100 terabyte Pro, so I use a lot of data, guys. I mean, I use a video. What are you going to do, man? I use a lot of it, so I can't downgrade. But if you're brand new and fresh, and if you've never used the protocol before, you're going to come over here. You're going to hit the select. You're going to collect 2 gigabytes. You're going to approve the transaction. It's going to cost you 2 cents, and you now have 2 gigabytes of storage that is connected to your wallet, that is connected to whatever wallet you happen to hook up to. It is there forever. You've just created a Jackal account. From there, you go to storage. From there, you pop up, you create a new folder, you upload data, and you're done. That is how quick that is. Now, I was going to make a comparison video and show you Filecoin, what it takes to get through Filecoin, but the very first thing that Filecoin asks for is your email address. They want your email address. Who are you? Where are you? What are you going to be using our protocol for? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What Jackal asks you for is, do you have a wallet? You do? Okay, welcome aboard. Do you have 2 cents worth of Jackal? You do? Well, welcome. Here's 2 gigabytes of data. Knock yourself out. There is no comparison between what Jackal is doing and what anybody else out here is doing. It's not even close. Sorry, Belle, back to the questions. Go ahead. I wanted to brag a little bit. You can smile, Marston. You built a beautiful thing here, sir. Beautiful.
Oh, I appreciate it. That was, I mean, going back to kind of what you were saying about like, those kind of login traps. That was something we noticed really early on, even before Jackal, was like any Web3 storage platform had a really, even if it was fully decentralized, like Filecoin, that whole system is decentralized. Kind of if you have like a node going and you want to go through their whole setup process, if you want something easy, it almost always came down to using some centralized bridge to get you over there. And that's just how it was for so long, unless you were very technical. And we really wanted to get rid of that barrier to entry. And wallets are still, kind of a sucky thing for somebody who's not used to a wallet. But the fact that it just comes down to a single wallet sign on was a huge win for us, in my opinion.
All right. So Eric from Astrovault coming in with a question for you. Marston, as exponential growth occurs, what potential scaling hiccups concern you?
Yeah. So, really the only thing that I kind of foresee, and we've talked a lot internally about it, is just basically Tendermint consensus, us outscaling that. So what we've been kind of chatting about internally is this IBC connectivity that we're really pushing for right now, especially with those interchain accounts, where essentially you would create kind of this web of IBC connected chains where you have kind of one main Jackal chain, and then like for all your scaling needs, like 2 or 3 kind of sub chains that use kind of interchain security to get that security from that main Jackal hub, if you want to call it. And the real beauty is storage providers are kind of agnostic. So theoretically, we could hook them up to like all 5 of those subchains, and they would just essentially sit there on those chains, communicating with whatever chain requested them to. And then all 5 of those different subchains will all have their own block space to basically approve those storage deals. And then those kind of approvals will kind of be wrapped up in this little bundle to be dealt with over interchain security, so that that main Jackal hub is securing all that and double checking all that, economically speaking. But the actual storage providers might as well be connected to that Jackal hub for your user experience. And then again, interchain accounts are really awesome. What you'll be able to do is make storage deals with like subchain 1 or subchain 2 or subchain 3 from that main chain. So you won't even need to know you're using one of those small chains, because it'll all be handled on the back end through interchain accounts, which that's kind of like the only big issue that I could see with exponential growth is outscaling Tendermint. But as I say, we're on it. We're thinking of really cool ways to kind of outscale Tendermint using Tendermint.
Well, you know what? Every time you guys think of real cool ways, something better comes along. That's all I'm going to say, guys. We're gonna get to the giveaway. We're gonna do it here really, really shortly. The one thing I forgot to mention: does anybody know what this is? Because most of you are crypto people, and most of you likely have one of these. What this is to me is an exabyte of data that travels with me wherever the hell I want it to go. It is infinite data storage. Jackal cracked it. They made it ledger compatible, so that means all of your data, is it data or data? Let's decide right now. All of your data goes with you if you have one of these, and that is infinite. As much as you want to put on there, it's going to go right there because you have ledger compatibility with it. Now, I know you guys are waiting. We never get 100 people. We average about 20. We average about 20 to 25 viewers. It's clear you're here for my money, so let's go ahead and give this away right this second. Phone lines are open, guys, and caller number 5 to area code 515-523-6995. That's my radio voice, by the way. That's my old disc jockey voice. 515-523-6995 is going to win 12,500 Jackal tokens, which is currently valued at about $9,000. It's my hope that you guys will actually, I'd hold on to it, but it's your money, babe. You do what you want to do. It takes us a little bit to screen the calls. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and give you back the countdown timer, play you another song that from a fine Canadian artist in honor of Marston joining us. So if you could, guys, start dialing, get in, caller number 5, and enjoy Canada's finest. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we got our winner. We're bringing him in right now. Let me get him up here. Area code 330. Who do I got here?
Hey, Scott, it's Idiot Fish.
Yeah, Fish. No kidding. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm awesome this evening. I couldn't be happier. Thank you.
Are you doing a little better? I think Jackal almost hit 71 cents. Are you doing a little bit better now?
Oh, my goodness. I couldn't be happier. It's been an amazing ride.
All right.
Wow.
Let me ask you this, brother. Do you use Jackal? Do you use Jackal Storage?
Not every day, but I do have an account. I have used it, yes.
Excellent, excellent. I think everybody up here is going to want to know, what are you going to do with the Jackal, dude? Are you going to dump it, or are you going to do something very, very smart with it, like hold on to it and turn it into $16,000 or $18,000 where it is right now, man? You know what? It's your money, brother. Go ahead.
I'm gonna pick a mid-level validator and stake it.
Oh my goodness! Look at you! Big round of applause. All right, Idiot Fish, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, man. We're going to get back to the show. We got Marston. That's only hearing one side of this.
Appreciate it.
That's only hearing one side of
Much
this.
love, Podo fam.
Yeah, man. You be good. You know the drill. Get your Jackal address over to Belle. She'll square you up. Appreciate you calling in, man. Appreciate you supporting the podcast. All right. That's it, guys. We did get our winner. So those of you who were just here for my money, you can go ahead and depart now. Those of you who are interested in seeing why there's going to be a digit in front of the decimal, please stick around. Anyway, I've done my talking. Belle, do we got you back, or are you still like screening calls? Are you ready to go? Because I see Marston right there with a real dour expression on his face.
I'm ready to go. I'm
right.
ready to go. So yeah, Marston, we're good.
Do your thing, Belle.
Perfect.
All right. So next question coming in from RQTDI. What's the best way to acquire Jackal? Osmosis, looking for the best exchange rate and lowest costs.
I mean, I don't know about like lowest cost right now because they all kind of fluctuate, but Osmosis is good. Astrovault is really good. I know Shade has Jackal liquidity as well. So
no, they really, really don't. They got about 10 grand sitting over there. Yeah, we had something worked out. I had something worked out with Carter, but then they wouldn't answer my emails. I mean, come on, dude. I know it's not a fortune, but 6 figures is you can answer the emails about it. But yes, there is a pool over on Shade. You're gonna get absolutely savaged on that one. Astrovault has kind of the largest. I'm not trying to step on it, dude. It's just this is what I do every single day. Astrovault's probably going to give you the best exchange rate. Osmosis is pretty good, though. So they're both right around there. Give it another 6 months. It's going to be Astrovault. Carry on, Bill.
All right. Jamie O'Hare. My question would be, what's the percentage of use by institutional players versus individuals, and where do they see future growth?
Boy, that's a good question.
Oh,
yeah. This audience, man.
Yeah. So I don't have great metrics on that actually, but currently the vast majority of use on the network is individuals, or if they are institutions, I don't know who they are. Because that's the other beauty of it. Unless you like come to the Jackallabs team and are like, hey, I want to use Jackal for X, Y, and Z. We won't know who you are. So if you're storing like a bunch of data on the network through your business, I don't know if you're a business or you're an individual. So the vast majority of use on the protocol is people that I don't know about. But there is roughly, I want to say like a terabyte. We've sold a fair bit to like institution users. I don't know exactly how much off the top of my head, but it's in definitely like, I think it's in the triple digits of terabytes, I think. As far as like actual use, I can't say exactly because we don't monitor every single institutional user that we have on exactly how much they use at any given moment. But I know they exist and I know that they have it. But again, as I say, vast majority is individuals or institutions that I have never heard of.
Nah, man, you guys are going to be up into the exabyte range here. By this time next year, dude, we're gonna crush the validators. They're just gonna be bursting into flames with the amount of data that's gonna be going
Oh,
back
I
and
hope
forth, man.
so.
I know so. All right, look, trust me. That's what you want to say right there. Is trust me. I told you at 2 cents. You didn't believe me. Here we are. Belle, carry on.
All right, Jamie O'Hare again. Interesting, you said you can pay more to make files more secure. Did I mishear that? Why are some files less secure?
Ooh, you did say
Yeah,
that.
so that's a great question. I really like talking about this question. So, kind of the way that Web3 storage protocols work, if they're actually like secure storage protocols, is your storage providers aren't just holding your data. They're actively like showing the network that they have that data. And kind of what that means is on Jackal specifically, we kind of build this really complex tree out, and every file that you upload is split into a bunch of chunks, and those chunks are through a bunch of cryptography turned into this really beautiful tree. And what we can do is we can store just the top of that tree, which is called the root. And what we're able to do is take kind of this like really small bit of data from the tree and the original piece of data that you want to prove belongs to that tree. And you can prove that that little tiny chunk, whether that be chunk like 1 or chunk 50 or chunk 200, however many chunks are in the system, you can prove that that chunk belongs to that file. And so if you do that over and over and over again on different chunks, you can prove that eventually you have that whole file available. And so what you kind of have to deal with as a storage protocol is if you're proving every single piece of that data at every second, there's absolutely no way that you're going to be able to scale. So kind of what we do is I think it's 1,800 blocks right now, we check every file randomly in one spot. So every file on the network has to at least one of their blocks be proven, and that block changes every 1,800 blocks, which means that over the course of like a month, let's say you're storing, that file is going to be hit in a whole bunch of different spots that it becomes economically unfeasible for the storage providers to lie about having the file. And it just makes more sense for them to keep the whole file the whole time. So in a lot of the ways, those kind of math assumptions that we make to store those files are kind of the same types of assumptions that blockchain makes to make sure that there's like 2/3 of the network working together, and all that good stuff. So it's very math heavy. If you want, you can check out a white paper, or I think there's some
No.
really good explainers on the way like Filecoin does it as well. If you want more details, which what I mean when I say more secure is how often we check it. So right now, I'm very comfortable with 1,800 blocks. I actually think that's more secure than it needs to be. I know other protocols check it far, far less. So kind of what we are thinking about doing in the future is if you're really not too stressed about something, or you just want to store it, in kind of like archive storage where you want your file to just sit there and you only want it checked like once a day, we're gonna let you choose that and put the power, the economic power, into the hands of the user so that they can, pay a little bit less because they're not doing as much work, or you can pay a little bit more for it to be proven more often if it's really, really secure. So it's definitely not kind of a security concern with the protocol. It's just kind of you adjusting how often you want that file to be proven, for your own peace of mind more so than anything.
I admire that you're doing that, dude, but you guys are selling yourselves so short here. Marston, how much is a comparable product that Jackal is offering right this very second? How much would a comparable 1 terabyte of data on Amazon Web Services cost right this very second with ingress and egress factored in? Now, I'm not sure if you know that answer, but I know that answer. So I'm just kind of wondering, do you know that answer? How much Amazon Web Services is going to charge right this very second for what you're offering right this very second? Do you know?
Yeah, it really depends on ingress and egress, but like I want to say on average, like anywhere from like 40 to $50 ish.
Yes, and if you use maximum ingress and egress, meaning that it's an active data environment that you're putting in and taking out, it's going to cost you $162 a month. I can prove this over and over and over and over anywhere. $162 a month. How much are you charging right this very second?
$8.
You could say it. We all know.
That's for triple. $8 is for 3 full copies of your file, so it's more like, 1/3 of $8 for a terabyte. You're actually paying for 3 terabytes behind the scenes, which is really fun.
Again, I know you guys. Look, man, Patrick is aces, dude. This guy is just top notch. You are the smartest guy I've ever met in blockchain, hands down. And you don't know what you got here. You don't know what you built. There's a reason that I've never sold a single token, and I have no intention of doing it. You don't know what you have here, but when you do, when it realizes, when it clicks, and everything comes together, it's going to be glorious. That's all I have to say. Bill, please carry on. And we're getting down to time here. This whole show just exploded through time. Go, Bill.
We've got quite a few more questions too, so I'll get through them as quickly as possible. Eric from Astrovault. It's dope that Jackal is working with IBC partners. How and when will Jackal integrate with non-IBC applications? EVM?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So we're kind of in this weird space right now with IBC specifically, but there's a lot of really great teams working on getting IBC to systems that wouldn't normally have IBC. Like, you can think of like Union, even like Axelar with GMP, where it's not quite IBC, but it's similar. I think we've got a call set up with Union, I think for next week, to discuss kind of that idea of bringing Jackal to EVM chains that wouldn't normally have IBC through IBC partners. That's like our number one goal right now is IBC. We're hoping that just kind of by the time that we start pushing out to things like the EVM, IBC is going to be a lot more mature. And, we're IBC maxis. It's the best blockchain communication protocol by far right now. And so I'm really excited to see that making its way onto like Ethereum, Solana, Polkadot. Right now, a lot of the IBC implementations really only support token transfers, but I know Union was showing off some cool stuff. So we're really pushing for growth into the EVM and potentially Solana space as well when once IBC matures a little bit.
All right. So Jamie O'Hare, I never understood geofences with crypto. Isn't the whole point of crypto to break free from such control and boundaries?
Yeah. So right now, this is kind of the beauty of Jackal is there's no real geofencing. You can sort of check yourself if you want through like a bunch of IP stuff, because you can see, roughly where your connection's going when you send it to a storage provider, and then you can cancel your deal if you don't want it there. But right now, I mean, storage providers, there's no KYC, there's nothing like that. So right now, if you upload a file, it's going around to wherever you expect it to go. And we're working on some systems to allow the user to kind of have better control over where their data is going. But as far as the protocol is concerned, the protocol is completely neutral. It's spread out across the world right now, and there's really nothing that anybody can do to make that file go anywhere that the user doesn't explicitly say it should go, which is really exciting.
All right, and I'm going to interrupt you here for just a second, Bell. I see a trend happening over here in the comments. Marston, I'm with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and I'm serving you a writ. I need all the data from the following address, period. Can you provide that data, and what will that data be?
If you look up an address on like PingPub, that's all the data we have on it.
Okay. No. Wait, I don't think you understand. I don't think you get it, man.
Oh.
I'm with the FBI, all right? And I'm serving you this notice, and I want all the data that came out of this wallet address. Can you provide that data?
Yeah, as I say, the only stuff we can see is the stuff that PingPub sees and like block explorers. That's it.
I'm not making my point here. I'm with the FBI. All right, I'm the big dog here. I want all the data that came from this particular wallet address, and I want you to give it to me now. Can you provide that data?
Nope.
Okay, there's your
Same thing
answer.
as Signal.
There's your answer. Carry on, Bell.
All right, Brownsburg. When will the push button Prater integration for storage providers be available? Selfishly, I have almost 100 terabytes ready.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good question. We're still kind of in like this pilot state with it. I don't have an exact deadline, but if you want to reach out to, again, I think Patrick would be a good point, or Jaden would be a really great point of contact because we're still kind of back and forth with the Praetor team. And I know that they gave us kind of a beta, but I don't know off the top of my head where that's at currently.
All right. So, next one from Always Wanderlust. I use Jackal, however, I have issues when I upload multiple files. Are you guys going to improve that, Marston? Also, it takes forever to sign the message in Ledger because the message is too long.
Ooh.
Yeah, the ledger thing is huge, eh? Yeah, big one there. The too many files. It's there's some weirdness with some of the way that the gas is calculated. Sometimes there's some weird edge cases. We're improving it. Again with V4, the gas calculations all change, and there's a whole lot that goes on there. So we're working on kind of revamping that dashboard. So you shouldn't experience that after the dashboard upgrade. But again, that's kind of very in line with V4. As far as the ledger is concerned, unfortunately, we have really no way of working around that right now. That data that you're signing is very like important that you sign it. So it's kind of up to like the Cosmos ledger team to work on that. If we have free time, I'd love to fork it and adjust that. But then you're going to have another separate Jackal app on your ledger, which might not get the same updates that you get from the first party Cosmos ledger thing. So it's kind of unfortunate, but the way that the ledger works is just kind of in that ballpark of needing the message to be huge. I know Near has done something different, but again, that's very much for the team that developed the Cosmos ledger application, unfortunately.
All right, Donnie G. I think most of the consumer needs will be on mobile. Everyone wants to save their pictures and videos. We still getting Amuse and other types of mobile storage apps?
Yeah, I mean, I'll let Scott talk about Amuse.
Amuse is launching March
start.
15th. Amuse is launching March 15th. It's not Jackal branded, but the data ends up on Jackal purely from a price point. They're the cheapest thing that exists. I'm sorry, man. Look, they're awesome. So the data's ending up on Jackal. It's not Jackal branded. But was that not, Marston, was that not a marvelous segue into the question that I wanted to ask you? When Jackal
It
Mobile?
was.
When Jackal Mobile?
Yeah, so first kind of step is during that dashboard upgrade that I just mentioned, we're working a lot on making that web interface mobile friendly. Because obviously, right now, I mean, I'm sure if you've gone to it on a mobile phone, it just doesn't it doesn't quite look right. And so mobile usability is something that we're really pushing forwards into our dashboard. As far as like a native Jackal app, that's a very different story. There's a lot to consider in that realm, and we've been in talks with the Leap team about kind of using their mobile SDK, where essentially it's like Leap Wallet hidden in the background of a native app, which is really really cool. But as far as like timelines are concerned on like a native Jackal app, you're probably not going to see anything even in beta or alpha launch until at least Q4 of this year, probably more like next year. But that is something that, as far as like the web app is concerned, mobile compatibility is very much on our roadmap.
So, but we beat you to market, right? Amuse beat Jackal to market using the protocol that you slaved over building. So we're just riding on your back, man.
That's what we want though. Like we want those applications that are built on Jackal. We don't, as Jackallabs, like we can't build everything that we want to build, right? Like that's just totally unfeasible for Jackallabs to build every application that you could possibly dream of. So as I say, we're trying to really like hammer on those docs to make them so clean, make that developer experience really good, so that companies and users can go and build those applications that they want to build on top of Jackal. And it's still Jackal at its core, but all of that, top layer of what the protocol is actually doing for the user, that type of stuff is kind of up to the developers themselves, which I think is a really, it speaks to the decentralization of the whole protocol. Like the protocol isn't Jackallabs. It's anyone that wants to build on it can go and use it and make whatever they want out of it, even if that means like white labeling, putting new fees on top of it in ways that weren't there before. Whatever you want to do as a developer, that's your right to do so.
Oh, no, man. We're doing this at cost. That's the funny thing. We're not going to make a dime on Amuse. It was never the intent. The intent is proof of concept to show that there is a better way of doing things that will appeal to the legacy world. It's always been that. Amuse has been a total loss for me. It will always be a total loss. It's never been the point of it. The point of it is that we want to show what can be done, and we're doing that. And again, it launches on March 15th. Now, if you guys want to do it better, go ahead and do it better. We don't care. The point, again, is that how many people carry laptops versus how many people carry cell phones. That's it. That was the alpha and the omega for us, and we proved it out. Belle, please carry on. And we are over time, so lightning round, whatever we got left. I'm sure there's a bunch of questions.
Oh, yeah. So, old man, so is my nude safe on Jackal versus other storage?
Yeah, we can't see them unless you, for some reason, share them with us.
Carry on.
All right. New type. Does Jackal have plans to make physical USBs you can sell individually to Web 2 people?
Not currently. As I say, the Ledger is a really great kind of USB experience, but no, right now it's really focused on just the user experience in the web dashboard.
All right. Shane Hamilton, where do I go to get my Jackal swag?
Yeah, we have a merch shop. If you go to the jackalprotocol.com or jackalprotocol.com, there's no then there's one of the drop-down tabs has a merch button, and then you can go and you can pick up a t-shirt, and they're really nice shirts. We put a lot of thought into those ones, so you can go check them out.
Carry on.
All right. I'm going to butcher this name, and I do apologize for that, but Yumiri Runa, when MetaMask support for Ethereum peeps?
Yeah. Again, that's kind of
Wow.
the dashboard upgrade. We're going to be doing that with Leap's MetaMask Snap. So we're not going to be doing it with MetaMask directly, but yeah, the Snap is going to be the way to go, and that's going to be in our dashboard with V4.
Oh my God, that is huge. Look how casual, Belle. Look how
I know.
look
I know.
how casually he said that. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, we got it. It's just gonna be this thing." Do you know? This is why I bust his ball so much. Do you know what you built? Do you know what? Okay, I'm sorry. Carry on, Belle.
Monero Dinero, as a staker, the rewards and inflation seem high. I'm not complaining now, but what happens when the supply cap of 400 million is reached?
Yeah, that is again V4. I'm probably not the best guy to answer this question, but we have a V2 econ coming out, and there's a whole paper that Eric helped us out with a lot. It kind of switches the whole model away from inflation. There's still a bit of inflation here and there, but the big thing is that it's real yield on the storage deals, which means that you're going to be getting, again, some of the staking rewards even come from storage purchases, which is really cool. So you're not just getting inflation. But as far as like exact numbers and timelines and everything, either go read that paper or go talk to us in our Discord, and somebody that is like Emery would be much better to answer that question.
All right, Astro King, for the purposes of compliance and getting potential government morons off your ass, if you find out somehow that a given address is storing files that would be considered illegal, do you have the potential to freeze or boot that user?
No, I'd have to go through governance for something like that, kind of like that Juno prop, where like the entire chain would have to come to consensus and kick that user off, which is completely out of it's very like it's all community owned, right? So that's anything that can be done on the protocol is up to the users.
Thus far, now every Jackal prop that has gone up and passed with 100% voting because they make very, very smart props. I assure you that if somebody is on here using this for that which shall not be named, I can almost promise you that 24 hours from the time that prop goes up, that person is gone. Absolutely gone. Carry on, Bill.
Leanson, win military government contracts.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, you do. Look at this smirk. He knows. This is this is like you guys built. Again, man, I don't think you know what you built here. As somebody who served 26 years in the military, you've built the most secure file storage system that has ever seen the planet Earth. It's done, man. You can't take it back. All right, the bottle's open, Pandora's out, and you're never ever going to get it back. I'm not saying you're going to sell.
Yeah, if somebody wants to use it, like we have no idea. So if the military, for example, like wanted to go and use it, they can totally do so. No idea on like any deals or anything, but if the military wants to use the protocol permissionlessly, that's totally something that they can do.
God, how sexy would that be? Carry on, Bill.
Makokata Streamwalker, win Jackal Grayscale ETF.
Jesus.
I don't even.
Yeah, I'll save you on that one, dude.
Start on that one.
Carry on.
All right, Jack Sparrow. If you do a Jackal app like Apple or Google, would you have some restrictions that could impact the product?
That's a good question. I really don't know the ins and outs of kind of like the terms and conditions on those app stores. So I mean, I guess if Apple or Google like wanted to halt distribution on the app, they could. But as far as like the application itself, we would open source it so you can see everything that's happening and install it yourself. Especially if you're on Android, I know those are a lot more open. So you can build it from source. You can go upload it on your own device if you don't trust those like central app stores kind of thing.
Okay, G Torres. Are there a lot of MetaMask users out there that use data storage?
I have no idea. The thing is with a lot of these storage platforms, there's no wallet connect as is. There might be some MetaMask users on storage platforms that I'm unaware of, but I know that there's a lot of like IPFS users, for example, that also have MetaMask. So if we can make it easy for those MetaMask users to onboard, I'm sure that there would be a fair few that would appreciate having data storage just coming straight out of their wallet instead of needing to use a third party. So that's kind of why we're targeting that realm.
He said, Bell, he said a fair few. Like there's like 3 or 4 guys out there. Carry on.
All right. So last question coming in from user I see you. I did ask Patrick this question, but I want to ask it again as I used to work in casino surveillance and I know how much data needs to be stored. Any casino deals in sight?
That's so out of my realm. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's definitely a Patrick thing, dude. But oh my God, what a money shot that would be. You know how much data, you know how much 4K data they use, dude. It's shocking. And when I said exabytes, I wasn't kidding. Exabytes, man. All right, we're way past petabytes on something like that. All right. Anyway, guys, that was the last question. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight, man. Look, again, Marston Connell, this is the smartest guy in blockchain. I mean, if I ever, no, I really don't, man. All right, look, you're an extremely humble young person, but if I ask you to build me this, you will build me this, and it's just bam, done. Yeah, no, I can do that. Bang, bang, bang. I think you're in the right space at the right time with the right thing. You have the privacy, security, focus in mind. I think that's incredibly important as somebody like myself who's very, very libertarian and thinks the government needs to mind their own business. You've made that possible, and I can't thank you enough for that. All of my data goes up to you, every single bit of it. I don't use any other legacy cloud provider ever. There's no point. And with V4, it's just going to make it better, man. Quicker, better, quicker, faster. All those things that I get out of legacy systems, you're going to give me. And you're going to give it to me at a tenth of the price. I mean, dude, you guys are so stupidly cheap. I hope the new model ups the price because you are wildly underselling yourselves for
it does up the price a little bit, but it's still cheaper by a fair bit than like AWS.
No, you're giving it away right now. I mean, you are giving it away at a ridiculous amount. So anyway, Marston, we always wrap it up with the guest. 30 seconds, sir. What's on your mind? Put it out. Let's get it done. It's not 30 seconds, man. Talk as long as you want. Go ahead and sum up Marston Connell in a nutshell here, and we're going to go ahead and move on.
For sure. Yeah. So yeah, just go check out Radiant right now because it's like the coolest thing that we did recently. Beacon is really awesome as well. I know that's alpha, so I don't send people to it the way that I do Radiant. But keep an eye out for V4. We have tons of stuff. If you're technical and want to get involved, check out the GitHub. And otherwise, just like keep checking out Jackal, keep giving us feedback on it because we're always trying to make it a better product for you. And yeah, I mean, that's really it.
Get us out of here, Belle.
All right. Donnie G, thank you for hitting us with a $19.99 super chat. And Brownsburg following up by hitting us with a $20 super chat. Thank you guys so much for that. Now, we did have a lot of questions for Marston this evening. If you guys have more for him, definitely don't hesitate to reach out. Again, we can't do this show without you guys asking questions, without giving comments, without raising your concerns. We are going to be back on Tuesday at our normal time of 6 p.m. Central Standard. In between now and Tuesday, if you guys have any more comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to email those over to Scott or myself. Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. If you have any more questions for Marston and don't know how to reach him, we'll get those questions for you over to him as well. Again, we cannot thank you guys enough for popping in and sticking with us through this stream. We'll see you next time, guys.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most